Head coach Tony Sonsini, kind enough to join us for another interview this week as we talk about some of the different programs that are still trying to cope with everything that's going on with the COVID-19 situation. Coach, first off, thank you for being with us. I know this has been kind of difficult. You haven't had a chance to do a whole lot school-wise, football-wise, just your feelings and how things have transpired to this point and how you guys are moving forward.
Well, I mean, right now it's just a waiting game. Right now we got to get the kids finished up in their class, and academics are important. So it's very important that we finish the school year strong, and then we'll just go into summer and we'll see what happens. Right now we all are stay at home, shelter in place, and we just got to kind of wait to see what the future holds. The good thing is it's a even playing field across the state as far as football. Nobody's doing anything, so we'll find out if the kids are really working on their own.
What was your initial thought when this all started to go down and we're in uncharted territory for all of us, but from an athletic standpoint and a football standpoint, you still have an off-season program, some things you wanted to accomplish because football will be here before you know it. What was going through your mind at that time?
Well, right away when it first happened, most importantly, I care about my kids and my students and my players. What's going to happen to them? Going home, some of their situations might not be the best, food-wise, how they're going to take care of everything. But now that it's kind of more common, unfortunately, that we can use that word, we've been in home for, 45 days or something. So it's a little more common. They're able to do stuff. They know what they can do. When it's a nice day, they know they can go out for a run and stay social distance and practice all the guidelines they're supposed to. So that, that makes me feel pretty good. I'm in constant communication with the guys. But when it first happened, you're kind of in shock. You don't know what to expect. Nobody thought it was going to last this long. Nobody thought that school would be canceled. Nobody knows what's going to happen in the summer, and nobody knows what fall looks like. Just we want to get back to normal as can be as quick as possible, but we all got to be safe, and that's the most important thing.
I know we will look ahead a little bit because I'm sure like you and all the other coaches, you are kind of wondering whether there is going to be a high school football season or whether it's going to start late, what it's going to look like. Is anybody at this time, and it may be pretty early, we're still in April, has there been any indication whatsoever of any guidelines?
Not really. I'm in contact every day with my AD. We talk, he's also my evaluating principal. So we talk about education. We talk about athletics. And, right now I think everything's on his plan. I mean, August is still a long way away. So we kind of got to see what happens as they slowly open the state in the month of May and see how that goes. And if everything goes well, hopefully maybe June, maybe July, we can get started. The worst case would be, we start football in August.
Yeah. And the reason I ask that is you probably know, you've heard that college football may not be starting on time, and there are some athletic directors that have kind of a feeling it may not start at all. The NFL has already talked about pushing their season back and not have bye weeks and go things like that. So I guess just from that standpoint, you guys are just in an unknown and not really sure what to do, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We just got to kind of wait for word, wait from guidance from the state, from the governor, from the IHSA body, and they'll kind of tell us what we do from here.
Can you even say hi? Dad, is it okay I have a big foot?
Yep, go ahead. You can have a big foot. Sorry about that.
You're fine.
But, yeah, so we can, we just kind of manage what's going on and just a waiting game right now. So it's very important our kids are getting it done academically, and then they're doing stuff on their own. I saw a great quote yesterday, and in a not too distant future, kids, college coaches, high school coaches are going to see, one of three things: kids that didn't do anything, kids that did a little bit, and then kids that really put in extra time in their house are going to be really good. So we had a lot of momentum. Troy, felt really good when we were heading just as basketball and wrestling season was ended. We got those kids back, and we had a really good last 2 weeks in February. First 2 weeks in March, we were in a great situation, and then this hit. And so, hopefully we can get that momentum going back and going forward.
Well, if you don't mind me asking, then does that with the momentum that you had, is it harder knowing you being, after you had such a good year last year in your first season, getting this program back on track? in any way just kind of set you back a little bit, and how are you going to look at trying to get everything back if you possibly can as soon as possible?
Well, I mean, I guess we're faced with adversity all the time. We just have to overcome it. I mean, there's no way to deal with it other than head on right when we get back in. The good thing with us is we're returning a lot of starters at the skill position, both offensively, defensively. So that's really going to help us. We have some work to do, O-line, D-line, but we got guys. It's not like we don't have people. So we have people that have been in the program, for 2 or 3 years, or at least a year under me as well. So we got the guys. It's just a matter of getting in, getting the repetition. I'm 100% confident in my coaches. I got a very good coaching staff. Was able to bring back a couple, another alumni to our staff. So I feel really good where we're going. It's just hopefully we get there pretty soon as a whole. We Zoom every Sunday night. We have a staff meeting. It's either offense, defense, special team, and we spend the first 20 minutes always talking about kids. And so my coaches are always in contact saying, hey, get your grades in. What's going on? What are you doing at home? You doing push-ups, sit-ups, you running, whatever. How can you make this work? So that's the momentum we're still trying to keep, but obviously everybody's dealing with it. So hopefully some point this is going to be lifted. Some point we're going to play football. Just hopefully, hopefully it gets here and we're able to get back out, because I miss all my guys and my girls in this football. They ask every day, have you talked to this player? Have you talked to this player? So, we just got to get the normal as possible, but I don't know if it'll kill our momentum, because I think we can recoup it pretty quick. Hopefully the IHSA and the government, governor and Dr. McCormick, state superintendent, lets us kind of get together, maybe with a few kids here or there. They've said maybe they'll open it up to 10, but that doesn't mean we can do anything with sports. Yeah. So we'll just kind of, it's a whole waiting game. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to look like.
Hey, listen, you know as well as I do that getting in the weight room is a lot different. And right now you can't, like people like myself, you can't get in the gym. So you're trying to find other ways. It's not the same being at home and doing that. What are you telling the kids to do to try to, I'm sure some of them have some weights, but not probably everybody.
Oh, absolutely. Coach Shields, our strength coordinator at Richmond High School, he's young and he's into this whole technology thing, and he's awesome. So he's partnered with Rack Performance, and he's got a whole workout performance for them every day. And it tracks all the kids, and it shows who didn't complete the workout, who did, what all they did. So that's going to help. Obviously, a lot of that is have to do with makeshift, what you got at home. But as long as they're doing, push-ups, sit-ups, footwork drills in the yard, running around, staying active, and not sitting and playing Fortnite or video games, basketball, whatever they play, Madden, whatever they do all the time, it's going to help. So, I just don't know when and where we're going to get back together, whether it's going to be a full season, shortened season. Football is going to happen. It's been around forever. I think it's going to happen, still 3 months away, but nobody knows. Nobody knows what it's going to look like. So as long as everybody listens to what they're saying, stay social distancing, stay smart, stay safe, quarantine yourself if you have symptoms, that's going to help down the road. So, COVID-19 is not going anywhere. It's going to be here for a while. And, that's the biggest fear is once they open everything back up, is there going to be another outbreak?
In basketball, you can find a hoop. If you can do baseball, you can find maybe a couple of guys to play catch with, and you can maybe even throw in the backyard. Football as a quarterback, though, a little bit different, unless you can find a couple of guys to throw with. And I don't know what the social distancing aspect is there, but from a throwing and catching standpoint, is there anything these guys can do right now?
I know some players have, got together and thrown football. They were doing it early before we got more strict lockdown, and as the weather gets warmer, I'm sure that they're going to go out and do stuff. That's on them. I know no parents are involved, and no parents are going out back and throwing with kids, because they send me videos or they text me and say, hey, I went out and worked out with such and such today. So we have some really good families. We have kids that care about football and other sports as well. So I know that they're doing stuff. That's the most important. And we try to communicate with them weekly, if not daily, to remind them just to do little things. There's always footwork drills you can do. There's always a way to make yourself better. So I feel good where we're going. It's just, until we can get together and see who's really doing something, I won't know.
And, the other aspect is too, Tony, is that you have youth camps that you want to get in this summer. You have camps for the kids, the 7-on-7s, things like that. So I'm sure that at least right now, those things too have been put on the back burner. You just kind of wait and see.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, everything in our summer in June and July is still scheduled as normal. And obviously that's going to adjust depending on what we can do. The good thing for us is our kids camp, our youth camp's not until July. It's like the second week in July. Maybe it's even later than that, maybe third week in July. So hopefully we still have that. You know, the biggest thing for us is those eighth graders transitioning from eighth grade to ninth grade is trying to communication with them. With us, with having two middle schools, it's not as easy to communicate with them. So luckily I was able to get in there right before school got out and just talk to them and get some names and numbers. But until we can really get a set schedule, it's just going to be difficult to see on our numbers wise.
Hey, before I let you go, and I appreciate your time, how difficult is it as a head coach, though, deep down inside, knowing all this is going on and you're trying to keep the momentum, as you said, from last year and build the program over the summer? It's got to be pretty tough, though, isn't it?
Oh, it's tough. I mean, that's why I kind of got a beard. It's about the only hair I can grow, right? Because it's all falling out. So, I mean, my college coach always told me you can worry about the things you can control and you can worry about things you can't control. This is out of my control. If I sat here and worried about it, I'd be stressed out, not sleeping at night. Obviously I'm worried about my players. I'm worried about their safety, making sure they're smart, making sure they're eating, making sure they're staying on their academics, as well as if they have time to figure out how to do athletics. So that's why my coaching staff is in constant communication, and we talk, and we've got everything ready to go. We're ready. We got the summer planned out. We've got practices planned out. Now it's just a matter of them saying, hey, you can get started, and then we know exactly how many days we can practice for and plan for. So my coaching staff is great. I couldn't do it without them. We have some really good kids coming back, and I think we have a chance to be special, whether it's this year or down the road. We're just saying turned around, the ball's going in the right direction. We still got a lot of work to do. We're not there yet by any means, but I think some people will see that all season was pretty good for us as far as A, numbers, and B, is the kids that found the weight room.
Hey, by the way, I do have one more thing. You're talking about sleep. I know you well enough now that you don't sleep much anyway. So
No. But usually, football season, I wake up at 2:00 in the morning every night thinking about something. At least I'm sleeping past that. Getting up to I can sleep to about 5 or 6. And we get up. My wife and I get a run every morning, so that's awesome. It's some stuff that we haven't got to do for a long time together. So it's nice to get out, and we get out for at least a 4-mile jog almost daily. So that's nice. That's kind of our way to get away and talk and get a good exercise in. So Troy, I can't thank you enough. I greatly appreciate it. Hopefully we have some good news here pretty soon on when we can start, and we can get the kids out there on the field.